I am profoundly disappointed today that the behavior of a few could take over and jeopardize a budget that is for the entire province. While I know and appreciate fully that anxieties and emotions run high in the fishery this time of year, and how important the fishery is to Newfoundland and Labrador, and that there are so many hardworking women and men in that industry that we want to be here to support and to continue to work with. And they have entirely the democratic right to peaceful protest. And that is something that we encourage, and as leaders we should all encourage in the democratic process. What is unacceptable is violent protests. And so some of the behaviors we saw today will not be tolerated by me or our government.
As the Premier said, they're free to protest, they're free to express their voice, their opinions, their views, but they're not free to prevent individuals, whether it's public service workers, workers at the House of Assembly, or politicians who will deliver the budget as soon as it's safe to do so, from entering that premises. Of course, the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary are aware of the injunction, and they will take steps, I'm sure, to make sure that the court order is enforced and that people are able to proceed safely to work, and that the government is able to proceed diligently with the budget that, as the Premier outlined, contains numerous budgetary items, which is very important to every Newfoundlander and Labradorian.
There will be a budget for the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, full stop.
Tomorrow? Just to be clear.
That is the intent, is when it's safe to do so, so people can enter the building, we will do it. Pardon me?
Do you think this gets better?
No one wants 500 people to be arrested tomorrow morning. What we do want is to have continued dialogue with the leadership of the FFAW.
Premier, your fisheries minister mentioned that you believe that all of the issues have been addressed. If that's the case, why were there still so many angry fishermen out protesting today?
Well, that's a good question, but again, I reiterate, they wanted outside buyers. You heard it, we heard it on the steps last week and the week before. So there is a process in place for outside buyers. As I understand it, there's an application in the department currently. So outside buyers, we said yes, and we acted on. With respect to increased capacity, we've said we would address increased capacity. I think it's incumbent upon us to get the data point with respect to the quota and the total allowable catch before we make a formal decision on the impact that any increase would have. But assuming that there is an increase in the TAC, then we would increase capacity within the industry. We've also said, and you've heard me say loud and clear for the past couple of weeks, we will do a fulsome review of foreign ownership and corporate concentration within the industry. That can't happen overnight, but we've offered, and we've offered for the FFAW to come to the table with us so that we can decide on the best instrument to achieve that objective, in addition to the terms of reference for that instrument.